Hello and welcome back to the Minetrek.net game server. Yay! It's been a while. You know, everything going on in the world, it's been a little bit difficult. Got to deal with, life and whatnot. So, yeah, hopefully things are kind of mellowing out for folks and hopefully I can get back to doing some Minecraft, Minetrek and stuff. Yeah, anyways, I believe one of the last videos was sometime in June or May, somewhere in there. I have no idea. It's been so long. But I was working on my Expanse ships and the Expanse area here on the Minetrek.net game server, and I've been busy. I finished off, I think one of the last videos I did was a showcase of the Tachi class here, and the various different colors of the Tachi class. And I figured if I can make a Tachi class, why don't I make something a little bit bigger? So I decided to make the Nadachi class. And this is my first version of the Dachi class. And then I was working on this and I came up with, I decided that I liked the concept, but I wanted to go in a different direction. So Nadachi class 2. Let's take a quick look here at this build. This build here has point defense cannons. It's very heavily armed. And point defense, I guess you would call them masers, microwave lasers. The only reason these are being used as opposed to those is because I cannot turn those sideways. So I have to use these. And otherwise I'd be using those. These would all be point defense cannons. But yeah, she has 12 drone bays, and the drone bays can be, you can put, one drone in one or whatever, but she has 12 drones and they can launch drones. This is just a mock-up of the drone. I mean, it's technically a piloted vessel, like a ugly space fighter thing. Yeah, yeah. And I have a Rosinante style ship in here in the center area of the ship. And this is one of the things that I really was happy to kind of explore because figured, since it's the Expanse, the ships have to use thrust to create gravity, so the ship would always be under thrust with these huge thrusters. There's 4 of them, and it'd be pushing the ship, say, this way, and you would come in behind it and go through the middle of the world there, and whoops, come on, and then pull your ship into here, thrust slightly, or the ship would reduce thrust, and you would dock in here, and then you would disembark somewhere up here, right here, into one of the little bay areas here. And as I was doing that, I was like, well, I like this concept, but I really, it's just, I don't like it. At the same sense, same time, I was like, yeah, yeah. And I did a lot of work on this build, and to walk away from it and just scrap it, I can't do that. So what I decided to do is change my focus, and then I'll come back and make changes to this as needed. And that's where this one starts. What I did here with this secondary class is I removed all 4 of these hangars and just went with one big hangar on all 4 sides of the ship. So each hangar has its own little hangar bay and whatnot. Excuse me. And maintenance area right here, and then it comes into another bay, and then another work bay, and then another bay, and then another work bay. And I've been kind of meddling around with it, but what's going to happen is this right here is not centered. This is my central stack, my elevator, my stairwell, and everything else. So I'm going to, and I just came up with this because I was recording a video beforehand, and ironically, as I was recording it, I haven't gotten a phone call all week long, but that is the time I got a bunch of phone calls. So yeah, I didn't get very far in that recording before having to scrap it. But while recording that video, I came with the idea to center this column. Right now, the elevator is dead center of the ship. Stairwell is off to the elevator. So I'm going to move everything over this way just a little bit to kind of give it a little bit more of a centering. So the elevator will no longer be the center. It'll be between the elevator and the stairwell will now become the center point. And that'll give me a lot more flexibility when it comes down here to designing the lower decks and whatnot. And I'm surprised I didn't think of that beforehand, but I should have, and I didn't. But that's what happens when your mind's focused on other things and you can't see the pattern through the forest, sort of a thing. Anyways, these are escape pods because why not? know, have little escape pods. You have 1, 2, 3, and then the space pooper, which also serves as a, you know, a spot. And then you have like a window right here, and then out you go. And there are 16 of them, so 16 times 4, yeah, roughly what, 64 people can escape through escape pods. Not a lot of people, considering the ship will probably have a couple hundred crew members. So what I was thinking is the central part right here. I'm thinking with the railguns, because this is a railgun mount, they would jettison the railgun, and this part here would be a life pod as well, but I don't know how we do it interior wise. I guess I could do it right here where this is all at. Just, I think I will actually. I think what I'll do is I'll make these all crew quarters and whatnot through up here, and or well, open rooms with chairs, I guess. I don't know. But in the event that the ship has to jettison its core, which are 4 cores down there, this section up here can actually serve as a lifeboat as well. And for the crew that don't make it to the life pods, they can hopefully make it up here and survive. If not, make it down to a shuttle and get out that way. You know, you never know. It would be interesting to see, but you can see here, it's centered this way pretty well-ish, but not this way. I don't know why this is here. Not sure what the heck that is for. It's not part of the stairwell because the stairwell's over here. This may have been part of the old design that I have yet to replace, which is possible because, like I said, I've been working on this for quite some time, and that just might be part of the old design. I'll have to fix that and redesign all this, of course. But I did go in here and I did, this here is the gun bay. So as the point defense system runs out of ammunition, these would be the ammo crates, it will swivel and position itself so the ammo crates are right here, and you would just remove them and then restock them, and the gun would be deployed again. It's not needed for the masers because, you know, they're masers, more these are battery packs, so these battery packs would have to be swapped out. So because they don't operate off, they can operate off the ship's weapons, off the ship's power, but it's also good that they have their own battery packs in case the ship has to divert power to something else. And then you have a little storage area down here, and then of course this lift here takes it to all the way up to the top here where the maintenance area is, and additional storage. So each one of these levels will have, you know, battery packs and or ammo packs, and then if they need more, they have a big big section here to store it in. And as we go down the ship here, we have the hangar again, and we come down here. We have this area here. Keep coming. We have a large cargo bay here, another large cargo bay here, another one here. And I'm thinking about removing these. These are point defense for the back of the ship. I'm actually thinking about paring this down to 1 PDC and actually moving it back to more towards the center here, and then getting rid of this section right here. But the reason this is here, it's an actual lift that allows me to access here. So I don't know if I can move it or not, or I'm just probably going to end up just making it 1 PDC and kind of positioning it more towards the center here, and then this will open up this area here a lot larger, so that when this vessel lands on a planet, they can disembark vehicles and troops from the bottom of the ship here. And yes, this ship can land. It's not as big as one of the Martian battleships. I forget the class of that, but it's a Donninger class, I believe, which is 4 times this size. The Donninger class is actually almost as big as a Star Destroyer. They're that big. It's insane how large those ships are, and because they'll fit 4 of those Tachi style, but I keep forgetting the style, the class name for the Rosinante, but it'll fit 4 of those ships, those frigates, into the center bay, and that ship's massive. In fact, one of its engines is the size of this right here. That should tell you how big those things are. Those are some big ships. Yeah, you cannot build that on Minecraft in Minecraft because these ships are at the height limit right now. Nearly 250 blocks tall each. These are massive compared to the smaller ships, but these things are minuscule compared to the larger Martian battleship. So these things would be more like cruisers. I would speculate. I don't know, but yeah. So we have this big cargo bay down here for vehicles, and a little pass through right there, and then up here more cargo for whatever, and then up here, of course, a lot more cargo space. And then we transition up into the functioning areas of the ship. This will be engineering and possibly uh, fabrication as well. And I went ahead and mocked up the engine bay areas. These are RCS thrusters right here. These are RCS thrusters, multi-positional thrusters to allow the ship, vectoring thrusters allow the. It has some more up there as well, but I haven't fully fleshed them out yet. So the ship can actually turn on a dime if need be, but I wouldn't want to be in here because the ship turns, you can go splat, and you're toast, toast to roasties. Haven't figured out what I'm gonna put up here yet. I'm thinking like a little ball, um, like a little reactor ball up here, but also looks pretty good the way it is, so I might leave it that way. I have access right here down to the service area where the reactor core is. Of course, the reactor core itself, and then the thrust nodule. This is part of the thrust housing, and then of course, the main thruster itself. And they're not perfectly round, but I did that on purpose. I didn't want to make it perfectly round. Again, Minecraft has its limitations. But yeah, so I rebuilt the entire center of the ship, and I'm still quite a bit of work to do on it and everything else. But overall, I'm very pleased with how it's going. Again, I'm going to, on this, I got to recenter it. So what'll happen is this will actually move over a little bit, then I'll have to redo all of this stuff right through here. And that's fine with me. I don't mind redoing that, especially if it gives me overall a better flow for designing the rest of the ship moving up. As you can see, it's offset, and kind of bugs me that it is, but I centered it with the elevator, then I added the stairwell later. What I was going to do is I was going to have a stairwell on both sides of the elevator, and I could still do that, but that'd be a lot of extra work. But they would come out here, walk around the front of the elevator, and then stairwell back down this side of it. I could do that as well. Very easily, I guess I could do that, but I don't think it would affect this, which is the ladder. I don't think it would affect that at all. I'll have to experiment with both and see what I can do. Because right now, the stairwell is set up so you can just easily, come up and whatnot with it. But, yeah. But I'm hopefully going to get some more time to work on this big girl. I'm really was pressed for time, so I couldn't do anything with these big builds. But this one here also has a redesigned upper area. Again, these are rail guns. It has two airlocks, two areas for airlock. I call them the airlock bands. I have one down there, and then I have this airlock band up here. 4 airlocks up here, then 4 airlocks down there. And then I have point defense right here. And then we have the big rail gun right there. And again, if I do go ahead and make this a detachable section, what I'll end up doing is probably adding some thrusters right here. This room right here will actually be where the thruster nodules sit. And then it would have several layers of, like interlocks and whatnot to keep everything pulled together. And then if the ship decides that, oh crap, we gotta get rid of here, this area here would be decoupled, and then this whole section up here would simply fly away, and the rest of it would, do what it's gonna do. But yeah, that'll be big railgun and point defense. And then up here it has torpedo launchers. It has a very offensive capable vessel. So it has torpedo launchers down there on the bottom, and then it has another torpedo launcher right there, and then of course a missile launcher, and I think another torpedo launcher. Nope, just on this side. So missiles and some more torpedoes, so they can fire, be pretty aggressive when they have to go weapons hot and whatnot. Missiles are fast, medium weapons. That means these things will streak out and they'll damage a vessel, whereas torpedoes, they destroy a vessel. And missiles can also be fired to take out torpedoes as well. So if you have incoming torpedoes and the point defense aren't doing their job and the masers aren't heating the incoming rounds, like the projectile rounds, which would be from railguns, or the missiles up, then you can use missiles or anti-weapons missiles and whatnot to take out missiles, and take out weapons and take out ships, engines, and things and whatnot. So that's my logic. I'm sticking to it. I'll rethink it later on as I go, but hopefully I'll have more time to work on these Eiffel Tower things. Actually, This doesn't look like the Eiffel Tower. It looks more like the Empire State Building in New York. It does, doesn't it? Well, these things are pretty damn tall, and they have a lot of decks in them and a lot of crew. You know, I could shorten it down a little bit, but why? 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 You know. But anyways, this is my little Expanse area on the Minetrek.net game server. I'm pretty happy that I can get some free time now to work on stuff again. It's been a very long summer, and if you get a chance to visit the server, check it out. We have quite a bit of active players, builders on the server, and they've been pretty busy this summer and managed to do a lot of stuff. And Blue Phobes has been working on the Enterprise E. He redesigned the hangar, so we have to get that all cleaned up and polished up and back into the Enterprise E build because he did a nice job with it, and I'd like to show it off. Probably in the next video, I'll probably show off what he did, and we'll see about getting it into the Enterprise E. But it has to, a lot of work has to be done. We have to make sure that when we put it in there, we don't mess something up. So yeah, it's a slow process, but it's a pretty cool hangar, and I can't wait to show it to y'all. I think he has pictures of it on the Facebook page. You should go there and check it out. And then, of course, we have Creeperbot and Queen. They've been working on their builds, and a whole bunch of other folks. HD's been here, and oh gosh, yeah, it's been a busy summer for some folk. Anyways, y'all have a great day and take care. Hope the rest of your summer goes well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.